Good morning, sons and daughters of Lord Lugard. Here we have it. Not to Peter Obi. Okay, they have said that the Atiku's votes are not transferable. I mean, in a nutshell, that simply means Atiku's voters base cannot be inherited by Peter Obi. That Atiku must be on the ballot by 2027. This was a statement released by Demola Olariwaju, a spokesperson for Atiku for over 10 years. Now, this is not Olariwaju speaking. You must understand. Forget about his name. This is simply why the North, why you can see that the northern oligarchs, the political juggernauts, have not openly come out to say that they will back Peter Obi. But everything they have said through Demola Olariwaju is nothing but fallacy, lies, and an unacceptable excuse. While we understand that Atiku has every right to contest, I'm not going to deny that from him. But again, Atiku has no right to contest when it is still the turn of the South. Yes. If Atiku thinks, or if the North think, that the vote of Atiku are not transferable, why are they not ready to take the risk? What happened in 2023 was a testament that the division between the North, East, and Southeast, by not going together in PDP, and for Atiku not respecting the rotational of power or zoning in Nigeria, can of course cause the balkanization of voters base. A perfect example that happened in 2019 was simply when Obi would readily deputize Atiku, and we saw how Obi's voters base supported and voted for Atiku. We saw it. We saw how Obi worked assiduously, day and night. It was Obi that was campaigning. It was in 2019 the popularity of Obi came to limelight when he had a very famous, seminar where he had a very thought-provoking conversations with the Nigerian people. However, even as then, when he became very popular, he respected, because it is what it is. It is in Nigeria. We are divided in two regions, North and South. In the North, they might have their differences. In the South, the differences is so conspicuous, everybody can even perceive it. However, in a broader view, it is seen as the northern and the southern. Period. But today, ever since we had the formation of ADC, which was bettered, a brainchild of Atiku and his northern co-conspirators, they brought the initiative, the idea that in ADC they don't want to talk about ethnicity, they don't want to talk about the dichotomy, they don't want to talk about the diversity. No, that's not a reality, but simply being delusional. I've already said it in my past records, just in case you're just joining me. Welcome. And I like to call my Nigerian people sons and daughters of Lord Lugard. Deal with it, because we have not been able to break this contraption that was handed over to us, bequeathed over to us by Lord Lugard. It was one that forcefully married us together, and hence our fathers have bettered sons and daughters of the Lord Lugard formation. So, moving on. Why is it now that the North will begin to cock up many stories? I'm going to read a part of that very lengthy article that was released by Demola Olariwaju, who began to itemize the reasons why Atiku should be on the ballot, and perhaps if Obi still want to run, he should also be on the ballot. You see, at this stage, with these things that are coming from Atiku's camp, my worries is, could it be that Atiku could possibly be working for Tinubu There's a link over there. I believe you can click on it after we are done. But let me quickly go to the section of that article on my screen. I believe you have it. All right. Now, good. My conclusion is that ADC must field both of them on the ballot together, harnessing their strength rather than sacrificing one for the other, and also Atiku cannot inherit the 2023 votes of Obi, even if Obi campaigns for him in Onitsha. Obi cannot inherit the 2023 votes of Atiku, even if Atiku campaigns from him in Yola. Political influence or leverage is not transferable in politics unless you control other electoral factors. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. Kuna so kureno mu wayone. What that means is, you know, won't use sense for us. Now use wayo. Now wayo foul. As our brother in River State, the very popular Ikwere man will say, foul. Who says that the votes are not transferable? It's a freaking lie. Oh, so if Obi steps down and Obi begins to campaign, it brings out a very formidable candidate. Let's say, for instance, Obi brings out Kingsley Mohalu. He brings in Kingsley Mohalu. Or Peter Obi brings in someone like Patu Tommy. Or let's say Peter Obi brings someone like Donald Duke. It doesn't say someone that is formidable from the southeast or even in south. And Obi comes in and says that due to health reasons, I will not be able to campaign. However, let us push our support for Atiku. Are you telling me that Atiku will not get vote? Is that what they're telling me? Listen, what the North are just doing is they are, God, these people now scam. Oh, hey. And this is why I've always said it, that if the North will not do the right thing, they are the one that will also ensure Tinubu continues to 2021. Hence, they should stop the complaint. As insecurity, they buy them for not, when they litter our timeline with cries and wailing, please. If Atiku at this stage cannot read the handwriting on the wall, just as Joseph did in the Bible, if Atiku pretends to be blind or pretends to be sleeping when he's awake, and then it doesn't matter. That is why I've said that Tinubu will continue. It's Nigeria 2027 election will be one of the most easiest and one of the most, thought-provoking. When you see the result, everybody will be confused and nobody will say, "Boom." Nobody will argue it. Yes. Because if the North will have the temerity, the audacity to write to Obi that votes are not transferable, that votes are personal, that people who believe in people on personal ambitions and all that in this instance, because it is now the turn of the South. However, in 2013, 2014, we all saw how Tinubu galvanized 3 to 4 million votes of himself to Buhari. We saw it. We were all students. Thank God most of us were alive. If you are listening to me above at least 18 years, you were alive as of 2015. You were probably 8 years old or thereabout. So you will understand that what they are saying is just an excuse to ensure that the presidency of Atiku is guaranteed in ADC, because we have been clamoring for that there should be a respect for zoning. There should be a respect for the Nigerian diversity. There cannot be a party that will come out in Nigeria today, whether it is written or not written, whether it is a gentleman agreement. It must be agreed that there is a North and South dichotomy in the party. It must be agreed upon that when the Northerners go, afterwards it should be the Southerner. They can further elucidate that, okay, when the Northeast go, the next person that must go is the Southeast. When that is done, must be the North Central. That is all welcome. But in a situation whereby we start saying that there is no dichotomy, there is no diversity, then we are only denying our true identity as a Nigerian, because as at 1999, when Nigeria was formed, the reason why Obasanjo got the ticket was because the Northerners said, let Obasanjo be consolidated, let him be compensated, use, because the Yorubas were betrayed in 1993 when Abiola was spied by Babangida or Abacha, as the case may be, and that was the reason. In 2007, when Obasanjo was about to end his tenure, Atiku was the one who was pushing the northern agenda. Atiku was the one who was controlling nothing less than 23 northern governors, right from the corner to the north central. We all know that it was Atiku who had to what? Twist Obasanjo. At the time minute, we saw how Obasanjo betrayed Peter Odili, who has already spent billions and billions and millions of nairas into dollars. He went in the middle of the night to go and fetch Yaradua, and he brought Yaradua on board, and we saw how Yaradua became the Northern Project. And of course, Yaradua was even rigged into that position. Now, if Nigeria could have been set on that foundation, which was guarded, okay, because Atiku was the boys' brigade. Atiku was one of the people that guarded Nigeria to be placed in 1999 on the foundation of the North and South dichotomy. He assured it, he guaranteed it. All right. Now, in 2011, unfortunately, Yaradua died. Jonathan got in there. We saw Atiku not supporting Jonathan on the basis that the North are yet to complete their turn. But here we are. We are trying to see an old wine changing its bottle. An old wine telling us, well, I'm a fresh wine now. I might have supported the Northern agenda in the past. I might have gone against Jonathan in 2011 at first. Then secondly, I might have gone against him in 2014 on the basis that it's still done. But now in 2023, I felt it was over. We about no. We know they outgrow anything. You guys will have your own share of the bigotry. Yes, they say two can play the game. It is the turn of the South indeed. But again, the North, here they are. A man like Obi has come out to openly vow to the gods of the land, which are the people, that he will not do more than 4 years. All he needs is the support of the North. We know that it is the North that can put Obi there. But here we are through Demola Laruwaju, a very popular face in Atiku's camp, speaking the hearts of Atiku, that Atiku will have to be on the ballot. And they have said that people should stop parroting the idea that if Atiku will not step down, Tinubu should continue. Please, what option have you left us with? What option have you left us with? Now, all of a sudden, you want me to deny my identity as a Southerner. Now, all of a sudden, when Atiku Atiku actually gained his aims and objectives to defeat Jonathan. He did. Whether he was working with Tinubu at that time, it doesn't matter. Because at that time, it was right. We all accepted it that it was truly the turn of the North. And we did. And the South respected it. Why is it that the North always want to go against this agreement? Why does it have to be? Let me tell you. In 2019, there was no any heavyweight in the South that contested. Those that contested, Mohalu, Showore, they were not heavyweight. All right, they were not heavyweight. And to be realistic, there was no way they could have defeated Buhari at that time, because the northern sentiment drove Buhari into victory. And that was why you saw that it was only Buhari and Atiku that were the most pronounced. The likes of Tinubu, the likes of Obi, the likes of so many other southern political heavyweights could have ran, but they said, no, let us calm down. Let us calm down. We respect our diversity as a nation. Atiku cannot be projecting himself as a nationalist. If you are a nationalist, then you must respect our diversity. Okay, before I drop my mic, why I feel the Atiku camp have this level of confidence to come out and say things that are this provoking is simply because Obi has not been campaigning as a Nigerian. Obi is campaigning like an American. Obi is campaigning like no. In Nigeria, there is ethnic diversity, and no matter how minority you are in the ethnic diversity, it is either you belong to the north or you belong to the south, right? And my conversation here is not me telling Obi to turn to an ethnic bigot, but Nigeria was built on the foundation of ethnic diversity. It would have been stated in the constitution clearly that all Nigerians are one, that there is no ethnic differences, that any campaign that begins to pronounce and propagate our ethnicity, such politician would have been banned, sanctioned, and never to allow to run again. But is that in that constitution? So when I come out and say that Obi must begin to push the southern agenda to the northerners in ADC, backing it up with that he will not do more than 4 years, that this is what Tinubu will do, there is absolutely nothing offensive about it, because we know that these are the gimmicks the APC camp will run with. Haven't they started it already? Has Jajakume not started it already? Have we not been seeing Anonuga and Co telling the North that Tinubu waited for Buhari? Can we please also respect ourselves and let Tinubu finish the turn of the South, which is arguably 8 years? We better stop sleeping on bicycle, my people. Let me remind you again what Judge Akume said. Let's listen to it together. He said this in the Arewa forum that was just concluded in the last 50 days. Let's watch it together.
And uncommon SGF. You see, I want to appeal to us all. By this conception, the North, the region that is so dear to me, will be eligible for the presidency in 2031, not 2027. I said this because I love you. We love all of you. Let us not do something that will undermine our territorial integrity, and tomorrow people may be tempted to support others against us. Nigeria will not cease to exist